Ladies, gentlemen, and others in chat, welcome to another drawing stream. Yeah, so last time I goofed. I said that my next stream would be on Tuesday, 6 p.m. But then after I ended Friday's stream, I remembered, hang on, I stream on Sundays too. So, yeah. But the reason why I stream outside of my regular schedule is simply because I'm gonna visit my parents. So, yeah. It would crash. And instead, we are just going for a short stream today. Do a single panel. Okay, halftone works. Nice. Trying to ink, and I'm kind of like contemplating like what vibe and feeling to go for. So we have this thing here that I grabbed just from Pinterest, and we can go for, yeah, some dark clouds, dark gray clouds, all black skyscrapers, but with some shades of gray, and also obviously white for the windows. So this is going to be interesting. I think we are just going to go with a five brush. Yeah, so today's stream is not going to be particularly long by any stretch of the imagination. Instead, it will just be if I collapse this, does it forget the... Yeah, okay. It forgets the alpha. Alright, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah. So... we'll see how far we come. How far we get in this stream. Or we have to end it. I'm thinking like an hour-long stream or something like that, and call it a day from there. So we'll just have to see, chat, how far we get. I think I'm just gonna turn the alpha on, the alpha inheritance thing, after the fact, and just go from there. Yeah. And this is probably where I should have like figured out a solid perspective. Yeah, I definitely should. All right, This one is not necessarily that bad. Let's get the perspective. Ruler down, custom color, red. So obviously things needs to be horizontal. Let's see, but it also needs to merge. Align, roughly speaking. Oh, you can. Oh, nice. That is kind of the perspective that we're going for by the looks of it. We might, maybe we can spread things out a little bit. Things are a little bit more. Yeah. Let's use that as our sort of flattens this one out, but the important part is that we now have a vanishing point to go for. Which is super important. Like, where is that corner, roughly speaking, there? So let's like that. Here, and this is fine. Not exactly the most exciting stuff there is, but okay, gets the job done. And it needs to be done. Oh. There we are. Something like that. Wow. There we go. That is a bottom plane. Bottom plane. Top plane. I know the terminology, chat. Get up my back. Yeah. Yeah. Roughly speaking, again, it's just me reinforcing the idea to myself that, like, you know what, I shouldn't be super. Is that yeah, it's just a smudge on my screen. Shouldn't be super attached to my sketch. Letting go of the sketch is almost as important as anything else. So, yeah, I'm gonna collapse that layer too, or not collapse it, lock it, so I don't accidentally do something that I shouldn't be doing. Yeah, and then we have another. Line like that. And I suppose we could just go down on the other one here and then just go like put it over there, and there's our yay, there's our building. Then we can just streamline this entire process a little bit. That's a very narrow building, but that is a very narrow building. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's try some overlapping. Oop. If we leave it like that. Okay. Just like that. And we can leave it like that. Yeah, because then the corner's there, then you get the overlap there. Yeah, nice. Right, and then we can just smudge this, get rid of all of this. And go down one layer, and then we can get rid of all of this. And we even have to go down one layer and get rid of this. In fact, we also need to get rid of that, now I think about it. So and bada bing, bada boom. We also need not the eraser. And a line block like that. And just erase that. Yeah. Collapse it down, new temp layer. Because again, looks like this one. No. That's just... Again, it doesn't have... I would like to have it to be higher. Let's try that. Let's try this chat and see what goes up. Oh, that could also. Would that work? Yeah, just pull it much closer. Think about it. Yeah, why not? Actually, no. I have another idea. It's just going to be one big towering building. It's not going to have a... It's not going to have a top plane, basically. It's just going to be this massive gigachat of a building. And then... suppose we could just make it like that. Oh, I want. I keep pressing C as in Charlie, which starts the cropping tool. I'm going. We don't want to crop anything, so. There we go. And in other news, like I've been going over the. Alicia character design, because I'm thinking about like she has a lot of these laced details in her in her costume or her outfit. So I would instead or I would like to try to see if I can replicate that. And I've been like looking at some tutorials on how like to make like laced laced patterns in like stuff like Inkscape and the like, and I'm like, should be doable. Like it's a bit of a like how do you say upfront cost in terms of time and effort. But once you sort of have it, then you go like, now I have it. I can reuse it over and over and over again. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Oop. There we go. It sticks outside, don't worry about that. That will take care of itself once you turn on the inherent alpha thing. Don't worry about that, chat. Alright, that is like the... almost all the... farm background ones. There we go. Yeah. Let's just do it like that. I mean, that is outrageously long. And yeah, so we don't have to erase a whole bunch. Ooh, didn't need to do that. Cough, jump scare. And there's probably like a gazillion faster ways of doing this, but you know. All right. And now I think we can actually use the assistants. If we do snap to assistants. Yeah, look at that chat. Look at that chat. Right, so. We essentially just draw. There we go. Tedious detail work, but also strangely meditative, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, it's not that bad. Probably because like it's quote unquote easy. keep those. Gotta keep them separated, chat. All right. Clean up our layers. Collapse them. Save. Temp layer, so that we can move it around. Wow. This would have been a heck of a lot easier had I been able to work with like vector lines, because then you can just go like, you do one swipe like this, and it will just delete everything up on. You can set it so that it will delete everything that is past that crosses another vector line. Very handy. All right. I think we need a got something scratching the back of my neck. Throat. There we go. Hopefully that will fix it. All right. Oh, holy smokes. That was it. That was a bad cough right there, chat. It's bad when feels pretty bad when you gotta feel like you gotta mute. That's pretty bad. Yeah. Alright. Oh. And there's probably like actual math that you can do to figure out how to do these. But I'm not going to bother with that. Obviously, I don't want it to be that deep. But I do need a... I need something to start with, so here we are. Yeah. Pretty accurate. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And then we have a template. And we can park that there. Boom. Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, boom. Oop. All right. We're halfway there, and we've barely done the line art. Anyway. Turn off the sketch. You know, it looks kind of like a bit like this. I want to go for something a little bit more like that, but let's see what we can. By the looks of it, yeah, they're all. Maybe we'll just start with. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit tricky, but we'll see what we can get. Like, it's a bit. Looking at all of these things here, again, I'm thinking clean rows of like white lines of a certain thickness, and then you sort of just flip them vertically. Do the inanis copy paste hack, basically. To get the window effect. There's that one, yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Ah, pooey pants. Yeah. I just noticed and go like, it's gonna be a pain to get this part here to look nice and clean. And I might be exaggerating because, like, I honestly do not know. Well, a lot of it's going to be dark, but I would like to have like a clean base grid line question mark. Thing going on, and yeah. So what if we just do something like this, and we just do another one. Such. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Big question is, chat. Are you entertained? Not sure how much entertaining this is, but maybe you can pick up a few tips and tricks and go like, I'm not going to do that. That is a stupid way to work. Or, I didn't know that was you could do that in Krita. I should try that. Just the tip, chat. You just need the tip to go cross over the line. You don't necessarily need to overshoot it by a lot. Now, in a previous illustrations that I did something similar, like gridded out a bunch of boxes and so on and so forth, but I did also experiment with ways to sort of like, because this isn't like super interesting, but it might not necessarily be relevant in this particular shot, but a way to sort of get the lines to look a little bit more alive, because now it's very, and I acknowledge it's like it's very flat and sterile and boring, but like if it's going to be as dark or similar darkness to this illustration here, these lines are just going to disappear in the silhouettes. So yeah. So we just turn off the visibility for that one, and we're like, yeah, well. And we turn off the sketch, and we turn on inherent. Oh, there you go. And the only thing that I don't really like is this building here. It's the only one that I don't really like. I'm kind of tempted to sort of like, can I? Let's just see. If I... extend this line like that. And yeah. Alright, that one might actually look better. Because like, yeah, it's so squished, you know? And also you get a little bit more overlapping forms. Because like here's it kind of just something comes down. Nothing, so it's very frustrating because like, yeah, this part can be done. And I go like, oh yeah, it's just boxes. And I go like, yeah, you're right, but it's when it comes to detailing, I go like, that's when things fall apart for me. Adding detail. Because people are going like, ah, yeah, like, this is the super hard part, or this is the part that you really need to focus on. And I go like, yeah, but... oh yeah, that looks so much better. Of course, now we have a problem, because these lines... it's maybe not necessarily the biggest problem, it's just tedious. That's the problem for me, like, yeah, it's the detail. Go like, alright, yeah, I have my box down. You know, and everywhere else, I kind of go like, now you just draw the rest of the freaking owl. And I'm like... yeah. But we are closing it in on the hour, so... it's a bit barren here, but then I gotta remember, according to the sketch, I will have a moon here, and I might have some other minor stuff. So yeah, we have some overlapping shapes and forms. And if we're going by the half tone, if we just experiment a little bit, then, you know, we could just go... know. Let's cut over here, I guess. Alright, chat, let me cook. Isn't it possible to get this one to do the whole... No? Okay. Boom. Alright. Coming up on the hour, chat. Can we pull it up? Oh, yeah. Bonk. Righto. Right, so you cram up that visibility like that, and we turn off the sketch. Yeah. To better separate these, we might go with a very... let's go with a, I don't know, a gentleman's 55. We're just, now I'm kind of just throwing things on the canvas, so to speak. Yeah, let's just do the floors here, just for fun. Funsies. Yeah, let's just do these two. I don't know about that, chat. But yeah, again, it might be a little bit too... Of course, we can turn off the filter and... Oh, interfere. There we go. Oh, I can just delete that. Finish. Nope, that was bad. You probably should. Okay. Yeah. And then you kind of need to, like... Oh, turn off this. Right, kind of trying to make the clouds kind of thing going on, and yeah. But yeah. Short and simple stream, chat. So now I'm gonna reel and we're gonna pick up horse drawing, refinement of the horse studies next Tuesday. 6 p.m. Kind of screwed that up. But I was thinking we're just gonna call it here. Short, simple, straight to the point. Thank you for watching. Until then, keep drawing, keep having fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.